What's going on, guys? It's Triple G here, back with another Borderlands 3 video, and today I'm going to be showing you what weapons, anointments and gear you should be looking for before the 4th skill tree comes out, because for some of your characters it's going to be slightly different when the new 4th skill trees come out. So guys, if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week. Otherwise, let's get straight into this video. So first up on the list we have Zane. Now Zane is going to be changing with the 4 skill trees. We're going to have access to ASEs, meaning the anointments that you're going to be looking for are different. So next to mags, 200% splash are going to be really useful for you. In addition to that, grenades, if you choose not to use the drone and not to use the clone, your grenades are just going to be there to proc ASE, so it won't actually matter what grenade you have, but you are going to want to try and get yourself a mixture of different elements to mix those elements up. Zane will be far more effective with a mixture of elements going forward. In terms of shields, that's still going to be up to you with Zane, but I would highly recommend at least having a transformer to start with. And then in terms of artifacts, with the amount of gun damage that Zane now has, you want to be mixing that up as well, so the pearls are not going to be optimal, and Icebreaker Victory Rush is probably where you're going to want to go. So next up we have Flak. Now Flak's new skill, Gravity Snare, is a skill that can last for a number of minutes if you spec it in the right way. So what you're going to be wanting to look for here is anointments such as Action Skill active, or while fadeaway is active, or while anything is active for the skills themselves. Most of Flak skills can last for a significant amount of time now, so it is something that you're going to want to use, is Action Skill active. In terms of grenades, again, that's going to be completely up to you, because the Action Skill active is going to be up there for a while, so you can use on grenade thrown. ASEs aren't going to be that good for you at this point. In terms of shields, I really still like the stopgap, although just bear in mind that the Action Skill start isn't going to be as effective because that Action Skill is going to last quite a long time. And then for artifacts, I think we're still going to be looking at the pearl for this one. It is still going to be king of the crop, unless you're using something like the peregrine build with a fish slap, then the white elephant is going to be the one for you. So next up we have Amara. Now Amara's new skill with the orb, or the elemental orb going around, is really cool. So we're going to be looking for some slightly different anointments now. So in terms of anointments, there is a new anointment which boosts orb damage, which you might want to look out for. And Action Skill end is still going to be really good. So next to mags is still going to be kind of top of the pops when it comes to anointments. Then as we move on to grenades, again, on grenade thrown or Action Skill end, grenades are going to be the ones that I would look for, mixing those elements as well, or in sometimes matching those elements if you're fighting a particular boss to give you that bonus damage. In terms of shield, I would go for probably the Ultra here. The Plus Ultra is probably one of the shields that will give you that extra little bit of cooldown, so you can get ties up bind spam, and the orbs cooldown can be a bit on the long side, so the Ultra will help that with that as well. In terms of artifacts, I think here an elemental projector, a pearl, or a white elephant, depending on what you're using. I tended to use the face puncher when I was using it, so I think a white elephant would have been suitable for me. Finally, as we move on to Moze, Moze has the new Iron Cub, which can last for a considerable amount of time, which leaves you with 2 options when it comes to anointments. I tended to go with consecutive hits rather than Action Skill active, which enabled me to switch around between weapons. As we know, Action Skill active does not allow you to switch weapons in the current time. Then, as we move on to grenades, on grenade thrown is the king when it comes to grenades for anointments, and a CMT will probably still be the best option for Moze, although the Hunter Seeker is also a decent option now. In terms of shields, I still love the transformer, so I will still be looking for a transformer for Moze, and depending on the build, the anointment, I could use an Action Skill start anointment for the shield, but I'm not quite sure on that one just yet. And then in terms of the actual artifact, I definitely would choose the pearl for Moze, unless I was doing something funky like a deathless build. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise I'll catch you on the flip.